Okay, so we want a video podcast. Here we go. This is the best place I could think of to do video podcast.
Yes.
With
One,
my
two,
cutest
three.
baby.
1, 2, 3 video.
1, 2, 3 Funhouse.
Funhouse.
We're at the Funhouse Lounge, the place that my darling Akasha works. This bar is amazing. They have drag shows and comedy shows. Pretty much
Burlesque
everything.
shows this
burlesque.
weekend. Yes.
Oh, hey.
Movie themed burlesque.
But, you know, chose the week that it is over 100 degrees every single day to be building this trailer, and so today hopefully it will be done. But first time I did it, first time I felt anything that hasn't fallen off the wall, and I was like, yay! And then James, we'll talk about James in a minute, but he looked at it last night, and there are structural integrity issues.
Yeah.
And it's like leaning this way, and then the tailgate flopped down a bunch of times. Yeah. In addition to when my motorcycle like dogged over and then it flopped back down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna weld like a metal cage.
Yeah. Well, you use the wood that's like one step above cardboard too.
Yeah, and you know, I posted something today that said like, no, not all advice is good advice.
Yes, this is
And
very true.
I just trusted what people told me because I'm like, oh, you build stuff, you know the answers.
Yeah.
And so
that actually terrifies me that he builds with wood for a living,
yeah,
and that's.
I know, I feel bad, but you know, yeah, that sucked. And I got to Home Depot and realized that it was too big for the car anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, hurt. Why are you
But did you have to strap it to the top? How'd you get it?
No, I asked Corey to come in and help me and put it in his pickup truck. So
Gotcha.
I sat in the parking lot, and there was a truck across the way from me, and he's like, how long has this guy been like staring at me? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I definitely changed my clothes parking lot. Like,
I just like to watch him struggle.
yeah, right. Yeah. Well, so that segues perfectly into this because my YouTube channel that will begin with this is called Watch Me Struggle.
Endless amount of content on that one.
I
Really,
know,
every day
I
for you is
know.
the struggle. You
Wanna
invented the struggle bus.
I am the captain of the struggle bus.
Yes.
And the captain, what did you call it? The captain of the cocaine cruise?
The cocaine cruise captain. Yes.
There were so many costumes at this place, obviously, for all the events and drag shows and all the stuff, and so we put on all the wigs and made a video, which is really funny. So I'll put that at the end of this.
Yes, so we can enjoy our Funhouse.
It's just a Funhouse production. Yeah, that was really fun. I felt like I was in high school. Like,
I know. I know.
But I was not in the drama club, actually. Fun fact, I helped build the sets. Like, sorry guys, like, don't walk too hard on stage because it's all gonna fall over. And you have to, when you hide behind that, you kind of have to like hold them up a little bit.
That checks out.
I did it just so that I could get out of performing classes.
I was in one act in high school, but I was on the improv team. I got a standing ovation for my audition. And, yeah.
That's cute. We got kicked off the stage from the little band. I think I was telling you this last night, actually.
Oh yeah,
like,
for what, like
we didn't
30
even make it like 30 seconds of my spit song. It's horror business. Horror.
Oh, they thought you were saying whore?
Yeah. So yeah, you've been my best friend now for however many.
Okay, so I found out that we've only been friends for 4 years.
What?
How crazy is that? Yes, because it was your birthday last weekend, so I was like going through all of my photos and videos to like post sappy shit on Instagram.
And you posted all 10 videos.
Yeah, well, obviously. You're lucky that I didn't post a lot of other fucking videos that I had. But no, the first photo that I have of you is in the garage, and you're my little hardcore boyfriend. And it was in 2019, which makes sense because the van crash was Christmas Eve 2018.
Whoa, man.
So yeah, we've only been friends for 4 years. And like that makes sense because like COVID was like a time warp, but like even after you moved into the basement, we were like immediately like, oh, we're the same brain.
Right, that was, so I lived in the basement and then the outside garage.
Finished garage.
So I'm an outside dog.
Yes.
Yeah, I think almost the entirety of me living in Portland, I lived in the basement. And I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, that's you.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this chicken coop looks cool. I legit went to a house showing with Urban Cat.
Yeah.
I did come to my house showing and I was like, ooh, that chicken coop is cool.
I didn't live there.
Hey, look at the house. Okay. But it was weird. It's like a chicken coop, but they turned it into like a dog party thing, like where it had like ramps and shit for
Yeah.
their little dogs. Oh, that's like
I know when your apartment fell through, I was like, oh, you could just like sleep in one of these huts every night.
Oh my god, I would love to.
Yeah. But then that would have snowballed into like all the other houseless people around being like, oh, sick, we should just like party on the fucking Funhouse lawn every night.
I mean, yeah, they would let them.
No,
straight
I
up
mean,
and
I have seen on the video this couple put up like fucking tarps and everything and boned in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
funny that the video goes into there because I definitely like shot some OnlyFans photos in there the other day.
Fine. That's fine. Andy will just be like, oh, okay, hi man.
Yeah, I was walk around topless in there for a while.
Yeah.
And, like,
No, Andy and I are very much of the like times is tough, and if you don't have a fucking home, the least we can do is give you a place to go.
yeah, and just get out.
Or ET boat home.
See, that's why. So that's one of the many reasons that
It's not a fun house. It's a boat home.
Oh my god, yes, the first video podcast is just gonna be us laughing for like 40 minutes.
Yeah. Giggle girls.
I see myself more as like one of the old men from the Muppet Show.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, we should be hot girl versions of them for Halloween.
Yeah,
like I don't ever do hot girl version of anything. Like I'm usually just gross weird dude.
Yeah.
But that would be really fun.
That would be great. I'm still upset. Was it you or Emily that was going to be the hot girl version of the little Scottish man on the side of the automotive
yeah,
building?
and I was gonna be George Moreland, the hot water eater.
Oh yeah, that does his little foot dance.
These are like Portland staples, like those.
Yeah, very old
the
buildings
George
on
Moreland
Foster.
water heater thing that's been there for like years.
Yeah, that neon sign is insane.
Yeah, and
It's
there's
actually very cool how much like original neon we have in this town.
no, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I was learning how to do that pre-COVID.
I know that was a thing.
Yeah, but that just kind of fell through because when you have all the things wrong with you that could possibly kill you, you can't let people come into your studio.
Yeah.
So, and then it just fizzled. But also he told me that he's like, you're gonna have like 10 years of just being like, and then one day you'll be like, oh cool, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I figure out.
Yeah, no, that's why I've never done anything cool in my life because I don't. If I'm not immediately good at it, I'm like, couldn't possibly.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I sound like such a dick, but like, that's why I have 9,000 like semi skills because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And then I get like 85% of the way good, and
Yeah.
then get to the point where I need like somebody who's a master of their craft to
Yeah.
teach me. I'm like,
I either get
whatever.
bored of
Right.
practicing or I get insane imposter syndrome where I'm like, well, everybody else is better at this than me, and therefore, what is the point of me?
Yeah. But then people that are actually good at stuff that get the the jobs are taken by the people who are just like moderately good and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell?
I know.
Is this person
That's
getting
why
hired?
we have
Their
to-
photography is garbage. Blah blah blah.
We're just talking about this. We have to stop thinking like we want to be strong, hot women, and just be hot women that with the attitude of like a mediocre white man. It's just like I can do anything because I'm hot. It doesn't matter.
But the thing is, like, I don't. Maybe a little bit of that, like letting the people help you at Home Depot bring the shit out of your car, or at cash and carry, like bring your stuff out. And I'd be like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because I really actually would appreciate the help. Not that I can't do it, but that would be cool. But knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and that's the whole trailer build thing. Like, it's not that I didn't want help, but I didn't know James well enough to be like, hey, let's take you away from your gemstone cutting and all the things that you're actually doing to help me build this like rickety cricket trailer. Like, but he was apparently watching me the whole time, just like cringing. He was like, "Oh, I need to help you," but somebody told him I didn't want help, which is absurd.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I also think that with us, we've been constantly like when we do let people help us, it's always either like a letdown or like they want to get attached in some way, and so it just makes things.
Or they want
it
something
creates
back.
more issues than it like. So
Agreed.
it's just easier for us to be independent.
Agreed.
But I'm beginning to learn that like I don't know, sometimes for the easy things you can help.
Yeah. Or if I like really need it, I'll ask. But I asked, and I got not great advice. So, but anyway, so I'm still in Portland,
Which I'm very happy about.
I know. I'm not mad about it either, and this is awesome. I definitely needed an extra day to like really gather my stuff and not stay awake for like 45 hours like I did last time.
Yeah, 100%. When I left, James was like, "So do you really think she's gonna leave it too tomorrow?" And I was like, "I never want to disprove or underestimate when she says she's gonna do something, but
time-wise. What did Coconut say to me? She was like, you're just like on your own time. You'll just like, show up whenever you feel like it, or be
100%.
really late.
I mean,
or not
it's
at all.
called being neurodivergent, babes. If I could wake up tomorrow and just constantly be on time to everything, that would be wonderful. instead of like, even now I'm stressing, I'm like, I'm not gonna get to work on time. But
You're
you know
at
what?
work,
It's not,
currently.
yeah, but like, I haven't gotten all the things done. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll like sit in the pool and hang out with my friends instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcast is
I'd
fun.
rather stress at the very last minute than not do all the fun stuff in between.
See, I think I do all the important things and all the work, and then I have the dig around business where I'm like, oh, I have like so much time.
I know,
like,
exactly.
it's fine.
I will give
It's fine.
myself like 5 hours
Yeah.
to like
Like,
do
what am I
one
doing for
thing
5
and then
hours?
get ready for work. And I'm like, I have so much fucking time. Let me just like rearrange all of my plants. Let me like dust all my ceramic cats. I have all the time in the world. And then all of a sudden I'm 15 minutes late at work.
So now that you have all of my plants,
Yes.
don't fall into that trap because it's happened to me so many times. Like,
No.
and I'll like move
It's
them around. And
already
shit.
going to happen because they have to be
Hours.
rotated anyway
Yeah.
in the way that my house gets sunlight. And so I already know that I'm like I had to physically stop myself because I was like, oh, I'm going to repot this one right now. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
Akasha,
Yeah.
you will
Yeah.
be here for hours. You have to
Good
go.
for
I
you.
know.
Good for you for doing
I
that.
know. I'm
Like,
learning.
I'm gonna string up this because I have 2 strings of cafe lights and then one was burned out because
Yeah.
I'm not even telling stories.
Yeah.
Makes me angry. But trying to get one string of cafe lights to look nice, I was like clustering around doing all this. I was out there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I finally was like, holy shit, hey, you've been like messing with these lights for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, I took them all down and I was like, like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks good.
Yeah. I wonder what it would be like to have a normal functioning brain where like you just do what you were planning on doing instead of doing that and then being like, oh my gosh, but I can also do this, and then your brain's like, now you have to do it right now, do it now, do it. Yeah. And I can't, me and my brain are two different entities, and I can't tell it no. I don't have the power.
Oh, so your fucking button's just like right there.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yep.
Like mine's like pretty far away, and then
Yeah.
I like have a couple beers and I'm like,
Yep.
oh, here it is. Oh, give me a couple shots. I'm like,
Yep.
ah.
I can't.
Oh my god, I love you so much. So yeah, shit. Well, so I'm going to Sturgis, right? Oh, I'm going to Utah first.
Right.
To Dream Company to have AJ hopefully help me fix my bike a little bit and hang out because I got to Portland Free 2 hours before the end.
Mhm.
So I got to see him for like 15 minutes.
Yes.
And then everybody passed out in the faces. And like, hey, you know, shower in your hotel room. No, I'm not because everybody passed out. But so I'm going to go to their spot in Utah and that'll be fun. Really close to, you know, where my previous employer's like HQ is.
Oh, all your Mormon employers. Your
Yeah.
Mormon employers. You remember when we almost ended up in Utah because I took the wrong freeway on the way
For
home?
3 hours.
We were like, I was like, wait, Salt Lake City, that's not right.
Oh my god, I
That's not
forgot
right.
about that. So what did we do? That was, I did touch on that in one of the other
Yeah,
podcasts.
your very first podcast, you touched on it and then segued like we just did 4,000 times.
Oh my god, yeah,
But,
tangential. You know, if you don't
Yeah.
like it, then you're not going to listen to the next one or watch the next
No,
one. But,
it's great.
yeah, so when we went on our trip to Jackson Hole, when everybody saw me Jackson Hole in Jackson Hole.
Yeah, and our Grand Tetons at the Grand Tetons. Or your Grand Tetons, my small Tetons.
Oh my god,
Petite
that was
Tetons?
fun. Yeah, we drove all the way through on the way there, right in one
We
shot.
drove all the way to Idaho in one shot, 12 hours with, I don't know how much I could say on this
Yeah,
podcast.
no. But you know, we listened. I put on like 90s.
Yeah,
we listened to, like, the
Bush
Gin
Bush
Blossoms
radio.
and like all of Bush 16 Stone.
And I already had not slept the night before. You took a little nap, and then you were all, and you were all grumpy. You're like, I know where to go. I'm tired. And I was like, I'm just gonna load up, like having a baby. I'm like, I'm just gonna load up the car. I'm gonna wake you up. I'm gonna put you in the front seat, and then I'll just go, and you can sleep. So I'm on like what 36 hours no sleep, driving through.
Did I?
You had a not the car.
I had an accident.
No,
on
once
that,
you were
probably.
once you were
Like,
in, no once you were in the car, you had to be my road dog. But yeah, so like 36 hours no sleep in the middle of Idaho, and the reflectors on the side of the road. I was like,
oh my god.
oh my gosh, who put these lanterns out here? That's so helpful. Who keeps these up?
Lanterns. Oh my god. Well,
Just street reflectors on the side of the freeway.
I saw actual lanterns though on the side of the road.
I know, I wish
when
you would've
saw
pulled
this
over
last
and
trip.
taken
Well, I
a
almost
photo.
crashed and the trailer's like wah because I was trying to take a video of the lanterns on the side. Yeah. So many times I should just pull over
Yeah.
and I, you know, like when it donked down. Like we should just drove past and then turned around instead of like wah.
Yeah.
But you know that's not how I operate.
Yeah.
Or like you know dropping the bike off the trailer when it stalled up. My bike just died,
Yeah.
like right as I needed it to go.
Yeah.
And instead of just being like, I was like, oh no. Why? It's metal. I'm like, a piece of very squishy gumby.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm assuming you're gonna post that video to the.
Oh yeah,
Watch very
totally. Yeah,
struggle.
totally. So James was taking a video of me from this way, but I have the iPad from this way, and so when the part that I didn't post yet because it's just too funny, I wanted to like, is when he's helping me like back it off of the trailer.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you like want me to like go get somebody? Like, do we need more than 2 people? I'm like, no, it's cool. I'll just roll back. And I started to roll back, and the trailer was not attached to the truck, and it went, whoa! And I was like, oh, cool. Like, trailer helps, and it was like, whoop. I like made the appropriate angle, but yeah. I was really proud of my little box trailer because it didn't fall apart. It like donked this way and then this way. Because I'm like, I can definitely ride up a like 45-degree angle. But how many times did I didn't think about the fact that it is like sort of it's in motion, and when I get up that it's gonna go wow. Yeah. And momentum and like almost 600 pounds of motorcycle plus me and plus all the shit that I built in. Yeah. Idiot. Yeah. So, learning lessons every day. I need to just, at some point, hopefully this will take off and I'll be able to just get a nice enclosed trailer that I don't have to fucking build and has an appropriate lock mechanism that somebody did like make out of like tin foil. You know what I mean? Like I just, at some point I will do that.
But I mean, for the meantime, it's content.
Yeah, James really was happy. He's like, I'm posting this right now. I was like, no, dude, like it's not high engagement. Yeah. But he's like, you don't care? I'm like, I really don't. Like, I'm a very low embarrassment human, and I also, the internet's full of lies, you know, and everybody's like, oh my god, man, you're doing so well. Like, it's so great to see you. Like, and I'm not, but like, this is probably the shittiest I've been in my life. Yeah. Like, I'm like living in a truck, job, whatever. I like someone chasing on there, whatever.
It's the messiest your life has been, but it's also the hottest I think you've ever been. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stress.
Going for it. But it's just the right amount of stress where you don't look sickly.
It's stress and me picking up
physical,
things like every
physical
single
labor.
day because nobody other than you actually shows up to help me. Yeah. Like this kid. The 3 a.m. like, oh shit, I've been driving for like 15,000 years and I need to paint this apartment. You will always show up for that stuff. So thank you for that because this year has been interesting with putting people and friends in their appropriate circles where they should go. Thought you were my homie and you couldn't come down the street 4 blocks to jumpstart my truck or whatever. But I'll drive 45 minutes in the wrong direction, get a jumper box, bring it to you, take it back. And I'm not trying to equate the friend favors and shit, but that's just what your homies do. Yeah. 4:30 in the morning, truck, shovel, no questions. I would show up. Yeah. And I know that you would. Yeah. And
that's my
love.
How
I gauge with friends.
That's my love language is whatever, moments of servitude or whatever it's called. Gifts of service. Acts of service. Yeah, is my love language. And, I've learned not to expect the same amount of energy that I always put forth. Because I just constantly get disappointed.
Same.
But even
a little bit though.
Even in the grand scheme of things, what's going on with the world right now, the way that everybody's just treating each other in our little pockets of friend groups, my circle has gotten down to 3, I think, and now you're leaving, so 2, realistically. But Amanda and I were just talking about how it's very lonely when you start realizing it's lonely at the top. It's very lonely when you start actually basing your friendships around what you care about and how much energy you want to expend and get back in your life.
It's funny when you stop
but also
drinking for drinking's sake and partying all the time and then you realize the friends that aren't actually that funny and the ones that
I have no fucking problem sitting at a bar for 4 hours and shooting the shit, just having a good time. Do I want to do that every day now? No, I'm kind of over that phase of my life. I want to go do fun stuff and
my stupid ass expected that the bar friends were my actual friends and that's the catch right there. So
same. And then it still hurts watching them all hang out and have a good time, and I have to constantly remind myself you can settle and hang out with them just for the sake of not being lonely, but you're still gonna feel lonely at the end of the night and also not feel happy about where you are in life anymore.
Yeah,
Like, I'm pretty fucking happy about where my life is taking me at this very
I'm happy
moment.
for you. That's awesome.
And, you know, if I only have 2 people to hang out with every week, that's fun.
Yeah, I agree entirely, and I think that we're both finally on the right tracks. And like, perfect example is like meeting James at Green Acres. And like
every time you say it, I always go Green Acres.
I was calling it Green Gardens.
I mean, it's kind of a combination of both.
Right?
To be honest.
Yeah, that's not right. I do that same thing.
Yeah. Well, Green Acres used to be my favorite show as
No
a child.
way.
Yeah, because I was a fucking weirdo. I remember the episode where it like you couldn't see the cool shit unless you had a color TV, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on. My mom was like, oh well, you know, see, back in the day, it didn't used to be colored, and I was like, what? That's how young I was watching Green Acres.
Oh my god.
That's why my
Welcome Back Kotter was my favorite show.
Oh yeah.
Like
That and obviously Three's Company.
Yeah.
Which is my ringtone.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Summers.
Yeah, I would be.
But yeah, that's why my
What's
first
the show?
John Ritter.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can't remember what his.
Or no, it would be like the Weird Landlord.
Mr. Roper.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm Mrs. Roper because I'm just mean and I like to wear mean little caftans.
No, you have to be.
No, I'm definitely Chrissy. I'm Chrissy.
Mr. Roper. I remember what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's Don Knotts, right? Something like that.
No, but he looks very similar to Don Knotts.
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. But yeah, that's why I named my first. I have an accidental white porcelain cat collection now, but my first one I named her Zsa Zsa Gabor from Green Acres. Which also, Zsa Zsa Gabor is our bitch. She punched a cop in the face, was married to a prince. She is.
She punched a cop in the face.
Or she slapped a cop in the face.
I mean,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Love it.
I didn't know that. I'll have to do
Love it. Absolutely glamorous. And also a cab. I love her.
Yeah. I really love Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh yeah.
Just aesthetically and just.
Listened to You're Wrong About podcast about Tammy Faye Baker and her husband, and oh my god, he was fucking awful.
Yeah.
He is a garbage human being, and she was honestly just a sweetheart who, like, I feel like if she hadn't have been raised Pentecostal or whatever crazy shit she was, she would have been probably like an LGBT advocate, which she already was, like kind of an AIDS advocate. She like went on her fucking talk show.
Huh.
Her Bible show or whatever, and had an interview with an AIDS patient, and everybody freaked out. Yeah, no, she was a sweetheart. She, you know, was as caring as she was makeup heavy.
I love it. When I got my
Her heart was as big as her eyelashes.
oh, there was so much. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like the catacombs.
Yeah,
They're so good.
Anyway,
No, I was gonna like a good segue into the comedy routine that you were talking to me about last night, or all your like phone notes by like your
Oh,
parents.
yeah.
I'm not gonna give it away.
No,
But
it's fine.
It's really funny. But when do you do stand up here?
I do stand up here Friday nights. So there's a show called Butter Funhouse Lounge. There's a show called Butter that I do like a cute little joke at the end to close the show out. And then Friday nights we have a midnight mic, which is an open mic, and I always do a little bit there. And then there's just a bunch of really great comedy bars around Portland that I've been branching out to. But I am in the works of starting my own show here, comedy show, and it would be like just for the she's and theys, and it would be called The Consultants.
The Consultant?
The Consultants. Yeah.
Oh my god, is it going to be a Funhouse production?
We can make it a Funhouse production. Consultants by Funhouse. So yeah, working on that. 'Cause there's just a lot of really cool fucking, like, you know, queer and lady comics here.
Yeah.
And all of our shows are here, unfortunately, right now, are hosted by cis white men.
Yeah.
So I'm working on changing that.
Well, I was gonna say that like there's so many funny women that I know in general, but just here, and like Lucy and their like KUPT news thing is so funny.
Yeah.
But like she does this, she has a YouTube thing, and I'll put it in the show notes because it's seriously so funny. She reads or reenacts and like dresses up. Like there are certain videos that you can't even tell it's her. Like she really like goes for
love
it.
that.
And she reads and reenacts Yelp reviews.
Oh man.
Oh my god, it's so good.
She
It's
kind of
unbelievable.
sounds like a, oh my god, who's
It's
the
so
from
funny.
Strangers with Candy? Who's that lady?
Amy Sedaris.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, she's so funny. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I felt like when I was watching KPT, it was like the Mighty Boosh and like Tim and Eric had a baby.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. So yeah, I'll put it in the show notes because their YouTube channel is really funny. Like I never rewatch stuff ever unless it's amazing. Like Letterkenny, I watch like millions of times.
Yeah.
But like I've rewatched the KPG music a bunch of times, so you should definitely have her if you're gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, she'd be perfect for it because I kind of want to make it like not just straight stand up. I almost want to do like stand up intermittent with like a kind of The View almost, but like we're all actually like fun and weird. Yeah.
I'm weird.
You can absolutely come in. Yeah.
I'll be a guest.
Yeah.
Guest host.
Yeah.
That would be only Funhouse.
Yeah. Funhouse. Well, we can just have a Funhouse show, a Funhouse production.
No, it's a good experience.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely want to like, because I mean the people who host the shows here are obviously funny, but you know, I kind of realized watching all the open mics that if these people are the ones that are doing it professionally, I could do this.
This is not even just because you're my best friend. It's like you knock everybody out of the water at these open mics.
Yeah.
Like the last one that we went to in Vancouver, like your set was pretty short.
Yeah.
And like truly everybody was like dying, including me. And
Yeah.
like so if it was like 10, I would have watched 10 minutes. Like some of the other ones, like they were okay, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that
I wanted more.
Yeah, I didn't realize that open mic is 4 minutes. And you'd be surprised how, like, because ours is 3 minutes, but like the difference between 3 and 4 minutes is it's big. Yeah, so I really tried to keep it like short and sweet, but I realized I could have put a whole other chunk of the like vibe when I was doing abortions. Because I have plenty of content for that.
You scared me a little bit at the beginning because I went to where was I? What's the one that we went to see, that guy that looked like the guy I talked in high school or in college?
Oh, at Helium?
Helium, yeah. I'm like that.
Did I have sex with you in high school?
In college.
Like,
Well,
well,
he's bunk bed situation.
I was like, he was the same age as me, so unless you're like scoping the college campus for
for
youngsters.
for junior high school kids. Funhouse. It was not a fudge, it was the plastic. I went to a variety show there, and not to like badmouth any comedians. Sometimes you just have a set that just takes.
Yeah.
And she did one like in that same vein of conversation, and everyone's just like, she like made fun of strippers, and like we have the most strip clubs per capita in the world, and it's like, oh my god.
I feel like whenever you're doing
it was like cringy.
Like whenever you're doing comedy like that, it has to come from a place of like self-deprecation or something.
Yeah.
Like it can't come from you
people.
can't be coming like once again as the great George Carlin said, if you're punching down, it's not comedy. So like if you're like coming from a place of like you're on a pedestal, it's just not funny. You just sound like a fucking ass.
Yeah, and her comedic timing was not great either. You have really excellent comedic timing. You always have though. Like, when I like explain you to other people, I'm just like, but also you're quick.
Yeah.
Like after you walk away, I'll think of something funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you're always on it. So highly recommend coming to the Midnight Mix because the whole thing was really fun.
They're also like really fun. Like I mean, you've come and done photography.
Oh yeah, I got made
and
fun
like
of by 12 different comedians taking their pictures.
Yeah, but like the vibe here is just that's the thing that I love about our open mics is like it's not necessarily like the most lively crowd, but like the vibe of the entire because like people are coming in and out, you know, so you can come out here and just like kind of converse with people that you would normally talk to. I love it because who actually knows any stand-up comedians except you? Like,
but I feel like that's a really excellent practice though. If you're doing an open mic thing, like that's probably one of the hardest situations that you'll have, right? Like people, they're your peers.
Yeah.
So like all the comedians go up and then they're sitting there watching you, so that's super hard. And then people walking in and out and like talking and stuff, like I can deal with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I really need to go to. There's a bar down the street from this bar called the Firkin, and it's like a fucking horrible. I love the Firkin.
Yeah,
that's
what I
Firkin mic. But no, they have a open mic on Tuesdays, and I just like all of the boys have told me like you need to go to one that's not here, obviously, and I was like, oh, Underbar, perfect. But like I also think that one set too high of expectations because that's a very popular open mic.
I want to,
but I want to go to one that's like I need to kind of bomb a little bit I need
You
to
never
like.
know.
I mean, as much as I would like to believe, I need to go to one where like I need to sit in the silence and be okay with that because I am going to. There are going to be crowds that are not going to like me talking about snot rocket abortions.
Wait, what?
I gotta be okay with that instead of like what I do now, which is if it's silence, then I just kind of start getting nervous and then I like forget what I'm gonna say next.
I can come to your show and just play cricket sounds in the background.
Thanks. Yeah. It's like conditioning.
Play the kazoo.
Common conditioning. Yeah.
Oh my God. Or like what's that thing where they used to play like the one man band where it's like a hi hat and like and I just come there and like walk around.
Yeah.
During the thing.
Yeah. Or you just do like the sad trombone. It's like.
I could actually bring a trombone. I played in a brass band and I was
Of course.
I was so good though. I wanted to start a ska band, but I didn't make friends who could do anything.
Well,
so I'm like, I need like 15 of you guys to like play instruments. Anybody? No? Okay, cool. One trumpet ska band.
Well, that's why I'm excited to also be learning to play the drums because then I can just like drum while I do comedy.
Oh my
just
God.
make
Just
a joke
give
and then
your
go.
own- Stop, that's so good. I'm gonna cut that out so nobody steals your idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, you're so funny. I love you. I'm so happy we became friends. Even
I know.
though that heinous speech.
Yeah.
I
So
will
should we
not
talk about
call-
how we became friends?
Yeah, probably. I'm not gonna call her out because I'm not that petty. But
By
like,
name, yeah, because there's a
like-
lot of people in this town that are going to be watching this podcast and be like, you guys are fucking mean.
Yeah,
But
no.
most of those people also
I'm
don't
not
like her, so
I'm
it's-
not mean though, and there's about 3 people on Earth that I've like come into contact with in my life that I truly don't like.
Yeah.
And she's number 2 because somebody knocked her out of number 1 spot. But it was because of the way that she treated you and manipulated you, and because you were so close to it, I feel you couldn't see it.
No, I really couldn't, and I also couldn't see
So
like
bananas.
the fact that I mean, I'm such a different person than I am now, and it's because I'm not friends with her anymore. Like, I did not see how small she was making me be to make her bigger.
Yeah, I could see that right from the get.
Yeah, and so anyway,
She was dating a friend of mine when I lived in Austin.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
when
that's how we
first
very
met.
first met. Yeah,
But
it
like
was
there's the context of that. Like,
yeah. So
you're long distance dating and he flies you out and you bring your friend.
yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna flip the table.
Yeah, and see, I also was like very excited, just like I can do my own thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big fucking girl. It's,
Yeah.
it's Austin,
Oh, yeah.
Texas. It's not like I'm in Tijuana. Like,
You could be honest.
yeah. And so yeah, she was dating her boyfriend's roommate, your boyfriend's roommate.
I wasn't dating him, but yeah.
You were dating Darby?
Oh yes, I was.
You were
at that
dating
time.
Darby. Yeah. Should I?
Well,
not
no,
say this?
no.
Oh, everybody.
No, because I love Darby.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Darby.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I thought whatever.
So I just remember
I
like
lit my bangs on fire on one of our first dates at that bar.
I just remember being very intimidated by you because he had just gone back from tour, and I don't know what you were doing, but I was just sitting on the couch in there, and you came in like a fucking, like
Yeah, because I
just-
picked him up from the airport and he was coming home from like Megadeth, and
Yeah.
like it just was such a brutal tour, and like it got cut short. At the end.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, and I also don't think that they had like I don't think that Chris had talked to Tarby about
No.
the fact that we were going to be staying there,
Yeah.
so like
And so
I was
somebody
sitting
sleeping in his bed.
Yeah, and I was sleeping in the shred shed. I asked if I could sleep in his bed because that the fucking B-52 bomber attacked me. In Texas, they call them water bugs. I'm from Hawaii.
It's not- they're not water
We
bugs.
call them B-52
They're not
bombers
water
because they're
bugs,
the
like
big
flying cockroach.
roaches that'll fucking darn
Yeah, I
face
know.
like a
I
B-52.
almost died in Texas. One of those in the shower.
Yeah,
So,
no,
like,
it was
"Oh."
literally the worst. When I met her, was the worst weekend getaway I've ever had in my entire life. My friend is keeping me from doing all the fun stuff because she just wants me to hang out with her and her boyfriend, who I don't give a fuck about. And then I'm sleeping in the shred shed and get attacked literally on my neck. This bug was,
Ew.
and I
Yeah,
like
the shred
pulled-
shed is called the shred shed for good reason.
Yeah.
And it's like a tough shed in the back. It was really cute. They like did nice.
No, it
things
looked
to the
nice,
inside,
but like the
it's
minute,
outside in Texas.
yeah, and the minute I got there, like it sounded like I was in Jurassic Park. I was like, oh, everything in these trees wants to eat me.
Yeah.
And like I lived in Hawaii for 5 years. I only had a cockroach on me one time,
Yeah.
and I knew the minute I stepped foot into that shred shed, I was like, there's bugs in here. So I didn't sleep the first
There
night.
hadn't been anybody in there for a
Yeah,
while.
second
too.
night the bug attacks me, and I was like, this is your room now, dude. And so I tried to sleep on the couch. Fucking what's his name had a friend over. Pickle Man.
Mari.
Mari had a friend over, so I got kicked off the couch. And so then I remember asking Chris, like, can you text Harvey and ask if I can sleep in his bed? Because I feel really weird.
Well,
I don't want him and May to come home when I'm in their bed.
See, that tracks. You should have texted me because I'm pretty sure Tarby was like on a plane home from like Germany or some shit.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Yeah, but anyway, I told Chris that motherfucker was gonna be waiting for me in my room, and sure as shit, last night we're there. I go in to change my clothes, my suitcase is still in the shred shed, and it's sitting on my suitcase, staring at me as I open the door.
Oh my God,
like, I knew you'd be back, bitch. We're ending this now, and like, yeah, Chris tried to squish it with me, squish it on my suitcase, and I'm like, don't squish it on my suitcase, and then it's running around, and then I was convinced that it was in my suitcase. So when I got back to the apartment, I flung everything out. I was like, this ends now. It did not come home with me, but I was sure that it had called in there because I was like, "You're fucking determined to ruin my life." But that's also how I became.
It was in my hair, probably.
But that's also how I became friends with Dre because, like, obviously, when I go places, I make friends. Like Drea.
Oh, really?
So I met Drea at the bar the night after the roach was on my neck, and I was like, I have nowhere to sleep. I don't want to sleep in Tarby's bed because they only have a couple days together. And so she was like, she was like, well, you can come over and stay at my place. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah. This is what I wish I would have been doing the whole time, just like doing my own thing, hanging out with the girls.
Drea's amazing.
Because I think Buffy was also in town that weekend, and like I could have. Yeah, that's right. I met Buffy here. That's why I think that. Yeah.
Weird. That's so weird. The Portland, Austin, cross, and then Philly too. Like I was in Philly, but there was a Texas like tattoo convention or something that was happening, but it was a small one, so I didn't know. And I walked into like my neighborhood bar, but I see like Oliver Peck, like Tony Handel. I was like, wait, I'm in Philadelphia. This doesn't make any sense. Like, I was very, very disoriented and confused about where I was. And there was I'm sure you remember because you're from here. Like there was a point where everybody in Texas was wearing like flannels and like dock worker hats, and everybody out here thought they were fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
City hicks. This town is full of city hicks. I am not one of them. I'm a regular. I'm a regular. You almost got it.
Who was the one that looked like Peter Steele?
Oh, that was Emma.
Emma.
Yeah, she came the first time.
Yeah.
She actually hooked up with Tucky. So that was before you guys were together. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so that's why, like, I think that's why Maria was. That's why she was such a bitch to you to begin with, is because she wanted me to like have Tarby when we got there.
That's super fun that she like chose people for a human that like he has no like.
Sure, yeah, and I'm like yeah, he's hot and everything, but like also I thought that Aaron Jonathan Black or whatever his fucking name was hot too. I was like, I'm just going to Texas to be a little fucking
Aaron fucking Schwartz.
Yeah, Aaron fucking Schwartz. What's his fake name? Aaron Jonathan Black. Yeah.
Scorpion children. I don't care. We're just going.
The Scorp kids.
No, I mean I love them. I just say whatever.
Yeah. No, the Scorp kids. I used to have them on my running playlist.
I mean, no.
Their music was really fun. Anyway, no, I was just trying to go be a little slut in Texas, and she fucking ruined it. Because then she was just bitching about how Aaron had a girlfriend and Tarby had you, and I was like, I don't care. I'll find somebody if I really want a bone. And then the funny thing is, we go to Swan Dive, and I'm like hanging out with Luarza, and then they keep me from actually hanging out with them, and I'm like, wait, isn't this what you wanted the entire time? Is for me to find somebody so we can all hang out?
Oh, I love him so much.
Yeah.
He and I have some like ridiculous stories. Like I will definitely have him on the podcast when I eventually make it to Austin. He gave his motorcycle away pretty much on his birthday.
Oh god.
So I'll save that, but yeah, like 68 Jenny Shovel, it's such a fucking beautiful bike. I think it just had a paint job from Joey Cano. I'm like, we're such idiots. We just like that was like the biggest dirt moment of probably like our collective life together. Man, I got hit by a car with him.
Well, now he and I have matching dogs. He's the one that got the honey puppy.
No, I'm really excited to go to Austin. I was supposed to.
I'm excited to go there for my birthday and actually have a good time.
Yeah, so Giddy Up Texas, or not Giddy Up Texas, Born Free Texas for the first time.
Yeah.
And like the first event of anything ever is always the best one, and like. Yes, finally, Texas. Like,
it'll be really fun.
And I missed the entirety of Born Free California.
Maybe I can find a bar to do stand-up at, and then I'll get fucking hate crime because all my jokes are about
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, I also have a really good joke about, you know that movie, what is it? It's not Marley and Me. Martian and Me? Marvin and Me?
About the really bad dog.
No. It's like an E.T. knockoff, but it's like about a little boy in a wheelchair, and then this like Martian comes, but the little boy like rolls off a cliff, and he's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I always wanted to do that to Greg Abbott. Like that is my dream. Yeah. I actually told my therapist that when she's like, "Do you ever have contemplations of homicide?" And I was like, "Well, I've always dreamed of pushing Greg Abbott off a cliff, like in that Martian movie."
I will also put that in the show notes. I've never seen it, but you need to send it to me because I need to watch this little boyfriend.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
Oh my god, it made me think of the Kids in the Hall movie. That was like one of my favorite movies ever. Brain Candy. You need to watch that.
Yeah.
It's like
Didn't they just
I have
come out with the
cancer,
new Kids
boy.
in the Hall movie?
They came out with a new show. They did like a reboot of it, and it's just as funny. But it's
Yeah.
so funny. Oh my god, I love it. I'm so happy that you were becoming a comedian, like for real, for real.
Yeah, for
But
real.
also, I love that you were doing it for however long you did, Tony. It was like,
I mean, I only did it like 3 times.
Yeah. And you told me the first time.
Yeah.
Were your jokes like making fun of me? That way too?
No, they
Like,
were
how
about
many times
no,
I
they were
broke into the
about
wrong car,
they were
so
about
seriously.
Tinder, but no, I could put in jokes about how many times you broke into the wrong car trying to get in my car, and then stealing fucking cowtails.
I was like, oh,
I
you
had
stole
one of your
one.
cowtails. I hope that's okay. And I was like, wrong car. That's not my car. I don't have a car.
Well,
full of
and the
cowtails.
the lights were like on because I pressed the booper. The thing is, the booper always gets me.
Yeah.
Like I could hear it.
Well, and
clicking.
I think I told you, and you never listened to me on the way out of where we are. I'm like, oh yeah, because I said the key fob doesn't work, and you were just like, well, luckily the first time it was
That's what I did. I just went,
the first time it was our
now.
friend,
I was like, oh, yeah, we're
our
cool.
friend's Subaru. So at the time, our friend had a Subaru Forester, and I had a Subaru Forester. They're parked right next to each other, but they're completely different colors, and they look completely different on the inside because he's a dog walker.
In
so
my
he's just-
defense, we
and
were
she's-
at the strip club
we
in
were
the
at the
middle
strip club in the middle of the day. It was like watching football and drinking, but yeah. So she's booping the key fob and trying to unlock his Subaru, and it's like I don't understand why it's not. I can hear it. I can hear the locks, but it's not opening. And I go out there and I'm like, this one. That's why you could hear the locks.
No,
'cause it's
no,
right next
oh
to it.
no! I broke into the car fully.
No, you
And
didn't,
tried
yeah.
to start the car, and I'm like, it won't fucking work, dude. What the hell? But the key went. I'm like, the key went.
Well,
in.
because yeah, it's a Subaru. It's the same car.
I'm like, okay, I don't
Same
know.
but
Is there
different.
like a trick to it? You're like, the trick is that it's this car.
The
not
trick
that
is to
one.
get to the right car. Yeah. Yep.
I like refused to come in though and like ask for fucking help. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can
Well, yeah, no,
I should have just been
that-
like, I can hear it, but it's not doing anything. I should have come in
Yeah.
instead of like shoving my little arm in and like.
That's
I like
facts.
crawled in the back window.
God, I had never laughed so
Really good at
fucking
breaking this.
hard. That was hilarious. Man, that Subaru took us real far. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that was our camp car.
our camp car that we actually drove all the way to Jackson Hole with a shattered windshield.
Yeah. And one
this
light.
and one.
I fixed the headlight when we got there.
Yeah, when we got to the Tetons.
There's definitely a photo of me somewhere.
And then when we
getting
got-
all
and
the way
then-
into your.
And then
on the road.
when we got home, Ben and
I
Keely
broke
were.
into the wrong. I walked in the wrong person's house too. That one day.
You
there.
sure did. Yeah. We used Tinder in Jackson Hole to find a place to stay, and I stayed inside this very swanky like cabin, Airbnb or whatever. She stayed in the car with a bag full of syrup. Fucking bag full of syrup. We had made pancakes the day before because we had a hotel, and then
And five people.
Why
It
we
was
took
big.
the
It was
syrup
big.
with us? Like
It
we
was
were gonna
because it was
use.
big. It,
Yeah,
you
but-
can't just throw away.
Well, we could have left it there. I'm sure they would have kept it, but why we took it
I
with
don't
us?
know,
Bag full of
but
syrup, busted in
It
the
wasn't
car.
just an Aunt Jemima. It was like a 5-gallon
Everything was
Costco
fucking
size.
sticky on the way home. My God.
You got a bag full of syrup.
But
Like,
yeah,
I
so
crawled
she's.
out of the car.
But so she slept in the car. You sleep in the car, and you're only
It was
wearing
really
a
nice.
bikini and a sweater, and you got a fucking
It's
ham
the babushka sweater though,
ham
with the fur
sandwich
and shit,
in
and
your ham sandwich in your hand, and
Yeah,
you walk
and the
into
Bret Michaels
some
hat,
old
too.
lady's fucking vacation rental.
Yeah. I mean, they all look the same though. It's like that kind of complex. Like I didn't remember what the door looked like at that night.
And then that's
And the door was unlocked. Okay,
Yeah.
if your front door is
well,
unlocked,
that's also the problem
you might
with
get like a weird rat pigeon
with
like walking
dudes
into
who
your
think
house.
that they can handle us, because then he was so freaked out after that. I was like, we're fucking leaving. We're taking our syrup and we're out of here, dude. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Sorry if you get a bad.
Did we bring the
Airbnb
bag of
over
syrup
here.
in the house?
I feel like we threw it away somewhere in the complex of. I don't think we threw it away. We got rid of
roll
it.
into some
There's no way
stranger's
that we
house and,
fucking
like,
rolled.
Drop a heavy bag
There's no
of
way that
syrup.
we
on the
rolled,
couch.
rolled out of there with a bag of syrup. That didn't happen.
Oh my God, but our hats, the straw.
I
hats
still
we
have.
got-
I still have.
Mine
them.
got smooshed.
Oh, mine's fully smooshed in the back of the car, but I still have it. So when I come to Born Free, we're gonna have to get new gas station hats.
Well, I think okay, we have to be together then. But yeah, so
'Cause
she's coming to
one
Born
of us
Free
is,
on her
I'm what,
birthday.
Ted Nugent, and you're Crocodile Dundee, or was I Crocodile
I was
Dundee?
Ted Nugent,
And you're
yeah,
Ted
I was
Nugent, and you're the Nugent, yeah. That's not nice.
Oh
man.
Sometimes like jumping off the shit in the cloth.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even fucking wear shrimp hole.
Oh my god. Well, I'm sure we have way more things to talk about and joke about, but you probably have to.
What time is it? We
I
didn't
have
even
no
talk
idea.
about how we met, which was like the whole thing that we actually had on.
Oh
our,
yeah, How
outline.
did we meet? How did we get we could-
So we met in Texas, but then you moved.
Oh yeah, I took you there.
Small town, like from the Texas-Portland pipeline is so small because first you went to Hood River and you were hanging out with all of my homies and dating one of my homies, and then you know fucking she who shall not be named was a
Wait,
fucking,
we named her like 3 times already.
yeah an absolute cunt to you, and then basically like convinced me that you were just a gold digging whore, which back then I was, you know, not the feminist that I am now because now I'm like fucking get it girl, I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's just fucked because the fucking Chris, whatever, when they were dating or after they broke up or something, I actually defended her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I
No,
can be friends with
I
whoever I fucking
know.
want, whatever. And I'm like,
That's the thing is she
because I'm like, there's always 2 sides to
she
everything. Like, I don't want to know.
has to be like the only cool girl. She can't support other women, and I'm very much like the more hot women, the better. Like we need to take over and run this shit. Where she's like, no, I want to be the. She's a pick me bitch. She's like, I want to be the only one. I want to be the favorite. And it's like, joke's on you. I'm the favorite now.
Yeah,
We're the favorite.
always was good.
Yeah. But so anyway, so then you moved to Hood River, and then eventually break up with, you know, him and move here, and we're in the same circles, but we're not really hanging out with one another until you started dating Curtis. So Curtis,
I saw you guys at the Paris Theater. Were they right? Is that
oh
the place
yeah,
for
okay, so
Pussy?
yeah, you saw me for
Yeah, and I
Black
was like,
Pussy.
oh my God, guys. I didn't. The funny thing is, I didn't remember her at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're familiar.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And
can
then
I use you for a photo shoot?
Yeah, and then you did my, and then you made me blonde because I'm a blonde B-L-O-N-D. I'm a blonde.
Like, oh man, I don't think I can use you for this. That was
it was rough, and I had like 4 inches of bra. But so yeah, so you were living with Carrie and Curtis. No, yeah,
Curtis is your fault. that
Well,
he
no,
lived there.
Curtis was living with Carrie first before he moved in with me.
But he wasn't there. Oh no, he
No,
was
he was living
your
in
fault that I lived in the basement.
Yes,
and
yes.
Curtis
He
lived
was
there,
living. So you and Curtis are staying. You're living at Carrie's house. He's staying around, but
At
mostly
her
at Carrie's
house,
house.
yeah.
And his best friend
was not staying
was
with me.
my roommate, Alex. So,
that's the thing. He was
yes.
gonna move
So
there.
Alex and Curtis, little fucking butt buddies. And so me, Curtis, and our other roommate,
I still like Alex.
Hannah, go out one night, and we at this point have had a handle of vodka, and we're just like chugging champagne out of the bottle. He has a bunch of classic cars, so he's got. I think
Is there a statute of limitations?
there's got to be a statute of limitations, right? Whatever. So yeah. So we're like, I mean, we're just taking all of his classic cars for joyrides at this point. He has like an old, what was that fucking super painted car that he had? Oh, not an Alpine.
Yes,
Riviera.
Riviera.
He has
Oh,
like
yeah.
this sick
Fucking
custom,
windows didn't go down or
custom
didn't go
painted
up.
Riviera. No windows, no windshield wipers. It's Portland. It's raining. We're hammered. He parks it in the middle of the street outside of Sandy Hut.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I know, I got pictures
fucking,
of it the next day.
Noel comes and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, because he thinks I'm driving, which I was afterwards. He's like, did you park that out there? You got to move it. And I was like, no, that's fucking Curtis. But like, we'll leave because we need to go. And so we
Did not move the Ribby.
No, I did move the Ribby. I moved the Ribby. We
It
brought
was
the
still there the next. Alright.
No,
The
no,
story
no.
I heard was that it was still there, and I was like, oh man. So
No,
I
no,
got
no,
in the
no.
car because I was gonna go and be like, oh, can't
No,
leave it
because
there.
I have photos of me, and you can
Okay.
see the dead in my eyes.
Yeah.
I have photos of me pulling the Ribby back into the garage, and so then we hop in the van. We're taking the van home, and he keeps slamming on the fucking brakes and pushing us into
Oh my God.
pushing us into the fucking front.
The
And so,
fury I have for
and
this
so
human.
I'm like, okay, that we're done. I'm driving, and I try and do it one fucking time to get back at him. Fucking hydroplane into a telephone pole. And slash my little knee. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. That's how I got brought to the bone.
Yeah, I'll take a close look at that.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But yeah, I get a call from Alex like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I never answer my phone. Ever. But so nobody ever calls me. And so if you're calling me at 7 a.m., I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to go find Curtis. And I was like, wow, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm at the hospital with the girls. And I was like, oh god, okay. Why do I have to find him again? Because you guys crashed and he just bailed.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
somebody
we all
found
started
him
running.
like almost like
He
100
No, he got picked up by an Uber Eats
Yeah,
driver,
and-
and also got the Uber Eats. Somebody else's Uber Eats breakfast. He got this man.
Yeah, I know. Because
Meanwhile-
he's at the house. I'm like looking for him and didn't know because he didn't have a phone or he's like majorly concussed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's like a lovely bag of like to go breakfast. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah. Meanwhile, so
the luck on this guy.
I'm full. I was raised full dirtbag, so I immediately start like, we're just gonna walk home because my roommate, she hit the dashboard with her chin, bit her tongue almost in half.
She was sitting in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Or perching.
And so I see her and I'm like, oh, your tongue's dangling out of your mouth. We need to go immediately. So I'm like, we'll just walk. I'm gonna call Alex. He'll meet us halfway there. It's only like 20 minutes back to the house. I'm like, you're not gonna bleed out through your tongue, so we'll be fine. Alex will meet us halfway.
Arterial though. Bleed out through your tongue.
So we're like walking and I hear the sirens and I'm like, oh, I gotta hide in the bushes. And so I'm hiding in the bushes. They pick her up and they're like, we know that there's two of you because there's 2 trails of blood. So where's the other one? And I come out of the bushes. I'm like, oh, hey. Oh, I'm fine. We need to get her to a hospital stat. And they're like, you need to get in an ambulance. And I'm like, I'm fucking fine, you guys. I don't need to get in an ambulance. And Hannah turns around, tongue hanging out. She's like, I didn't realize that I had slashed my friend.
Shocked out.
I'm shocked, and also my jeans had frayed like over the cut. So I'm just bleeding out. They're like, if you try and walk any farther, you're gonna very least lose your leg. So then I hear that I'm gonna lose my leg. So now I'm in the ambulance being like, if I'm gonna lose my leg, don't take me to the fucking hospital. Take me out. I want to bleed out next to my dog. I'm not gonna be a one-legged girl. I can't. I'm not strong enough. I can't do it. And they're like, you're not gonna lose your leg. You're gonna be fine. So they take me to the hospital. And then they're like, we're gonna have to cut your clothes off. I'm wearing a vintage like 1979 Zeppelin tee. I'm like, absolutely not. You're not fucking this guy. Zeppelin. I was like, I'm trying to take it off, and they're like, push my arms down. I'm like, I've already walked 4 blocks. I've already raised my arms above my head. Just let me take it off. And they're like, no. And so now I'm cursing at them like, your mother's a whore. I'll see you in hell. And so they like cut it all fucking jagged. I'm finally getting it fixed. I kept the pieces this was 5 years ago. I kept the pieces, and one of the girls that works at Wink is sewing it back together for me.
God. If she can do that, can she fix all my wrapping t-shirts?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, she's a wizard.
Oh my god. I can't even. If I just look at them.
War Child Apparel and Wink Vintage. The girls are the best.
Oh, sick. Because my wrapping t-shirts are like. They're just disintegrating. Cool.
So yeah, that happened, and then because that happened, Curtis was living in his van. So now he has to live with us because I crashed his house. And Carrie, who they were both staying with, finds out that Curtis and May have been boning and
like twice too, like whatever.
Very
it was
fucking.
Like this is gonna happen, then you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Very fucking upset. I just remember like I'm like all fucking benzoed out on the like big like old grandpa thing, and you come into the kitchen and I just like turn my head. I'm like, you can move into the basement. You can live with us. And Hannah later was like, you didn't even ask, and I was like, I didn't.
No, because at that point, Carrie had gone totally bananas bonkers.
And this is how we became such quick friends. And also,
in the fucking yard.
This is how we became such quick friends. And also, I were talking so much shit about this girl because this girl, I have her name tattooed on me. We were friends for 10 years. You, I barely fucking know. You came home. The kitchen was still a mess because we had cooked Christmas Eve dinner. You cleaned up my entire kitchen. You got me like painkillers, Gatorade, food, all that. Like took care of me. My best friend of 10 years, not once did she even come to the house. Never. Not once did she come to the house. I thought that was really
weird. I remember saying that to you.
And then I was still friends with her for like a year after that.
And she didn't. The complaints that she had the year that she ordered like 70,000 kamikaze shots.
Oh yeah,
and
that
Boyd had to pay for them.
Boyd ended up paying for it. Yeah.
She didn't even want to come.
Also complaining about coming because she's like, well, do I have to put on makeup? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Come or not, it's my birthday.
It was 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It was 9 p.m. and it's your best friend. Like, I don't give a shit what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't feel like coming?
Yeah. And also, like, again, to take it full circle, even after she, like, did all that on my birthday, I still threw her a surprise party at my bar.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to come because oh, wait.
But everybody did come because I asked them to, and they were like,
I remember that.
I
remember that now because I was like,
yeah, at the Shamrock. Happy birthday.
But it's an awesome dive bar. It has like 12 pool tables.
It is, and also like I don't know, I don't care where it is. If my friends make the effort to like throw me a surprise party, that's all I care about. It's fucking great.
And you're a great friend because you were like, here's your birthday party, and it has like the birthday thing banner, and there's like one person and like everybody like on the video lotteries, and so you didn't want your friend to have a birthday party that nobody showed up to, so you made sure people did, and even I showed up.
Yeah, you and Emily, who both both hated her.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how we became fast friends.
So the reason we were talking shit on her is because of her.
Yeah.
Like she's like I guess it's because she's like But because of her, I met James, the jewelry gemstone cutter at
Blue
Green Acres.
Panda
Blue
is
Panda,
his business name.
He
makes
made me this
amazing
beautiful ring, and he gave it to me because she lost hers, and it's the last one that will ever exist. And he's like, "Oh, it's your birthday. You can have this because so she can't." And that's awesome, and I love that. I'm not spiteful ever either, but that one felt really good. For some reason.
No.
But I was telling you about him and like showing you around the space because Green Acres is awesome. And I was like, "Oh, this awesome dude! Like, he showed me a dinosaur bone and it glows in the dark and it's uranium and all this stuff. It's incredible. Like it glows under UV light and he's just
amazing.
The turquoise and stuff. And he actually mines for all of his stones. Like he like spelunks off of stuff.
No,
and, like,
it's
deep,
insane. He's a fucking rad dude.
I love rocks.
But
I love rocks.
Yeah.
But I was telling you and you're like, "Oh, I know him."
Yeah. So I've known James for 5 years. I met him through her at Alleyway, and again, like just very close friends. He's very cool. And we liked all the same stuff, and so we were supposed to vend for him at a show in Vegas, which I was very excited about because I would have gone even if he wasn't paying me. Like a chopper show in Vegas to sell fucking turquoise jewelry and bop around and be hot. Yeah. That is my dream.
And he was paying you well and getting you guys your own
$400 a day. He wanted to pay us plus commission, and you know how many fucking rings I would have sold?
I know.
$1 million worth.
I know.
And so
I just couldn't believe it when he.
So I'm very excited about this, but I also wasn't planning. I didn't have James's number. We weren't really discussing it with each other. It was all her that was like planning it for us. And so all of a sudden I'm told he's not going, we're not going, and I'm like, well, that's a fucking bummer. I was really excited. And so to make up for the fact that we weren't going to Vegas, I was like, well, let's go to Hood River and hang out with like Ben and we'll take she has a classic car. We're like, well, we'll just cruise the classic car and have a fucking weekend, and to make up for the fact that I don't get to go to Vegas. No, that's not what happened. She ghosted him, and then he lost out on like 13 grand, and I never got to go to Vegas, and also all the other cool doors and opportunities that would have created for me. I was only 21. I could have lived a completely different life.
Well, but so here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, and everything comes sort of full circle, and why we're on the right path, obviously, because I met him. He's amazing. He was telling these stories, and he was talking about like the bad luck he's had apprenticing people, and he just is like the better version of what I tried to do. Like I just want to learn all the stuff, but he's just good at all these things. Yeah. He's actually helping me with the trailer because like, oh god, it's so awful. It was pains me. He's like, it's gonna all fall apart. But I'm like, it's whatever. Yeah. But so he was telling me about all these people he's apprenticed and people like women who lied about
stuff. Yeah, he had a real bad run of
and he said, I almost said her first and last name. But I'm like, oh, no. And then I told you about him, and you're like, oh, I know him. And then I was like, oh, you know Akasha. And he told me that story, and I was like, I find it so hard to believe that you would do that. Yeah. Her? For sure. I'm like, I guarantee she manipulated you in some way to go and hang out with people you can hang out with any day. That is 45 minutes from Portland.
And like, did I get a very fun story out of the whole almost getting arrested with all of us in matching Delta shorts? Sure, but would I rather have been in Vegas for the weekend? Absolutely.
Like more than $1,000 at 21.
At 21, I'm working at Killer Burger, and like, I'm not paying rent at that time either. Yeah, so like, having that much money, I could have done so much bullshit. I could have a bike right now.
Yeah, it just.
That's what I would have bought. I would have had a bike.
Motorcycles. Yeah, and I don't know. But it's crazy that I met him and this happened and you didn't know that. Yeah. And so he didn't know that. And so like this person has been going for this many years thinking that you're an asshole.
Yeah, but I think so what he said.
And you didn't know that.
So what he said last night, and I believe that I don't think that he thought that I was really like a culprit or that I was foolish, because there's no way that he would have like talked nice about me, you know.
I don't know.
He was like,
he's really diplomatic and he's very like he's an adult.
Yeah, he was like, I know that you.
I like, oh, she's my best friend, so you'd be like,
yeah, that's true. But yeah, when he told me last night, he was like, yeah, you were only 20. You were just like really sweet. I didn't know you that well, so I never really like blamed you for what happened. I just like blocked you and didn't ever really want to see you again. And I was like, that's fair. That's fucking fair. And I'm glad that now we've like reconnected because he's making not only sick turquoise jewelry, but now sick jewelry out of dinosaur bones, which dinosaurs are my fucking favorite. So yeah,
no, he's the best. Excited. He really is such a wonderful human.
And now I can still like prance around the compound, even though you're leaving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I think maybe I will rent one of those studio spaces because it's almost. I don't know. I think I was just mad at Portland. Yeah. And it has not been doing me any favors, and it's not particularly nice to artists who aren't already independently wealthy. But I think I was just like caught up in LA. I'm like, oh my god, I had like 5 5 opportunities in 2 days.
Yeah.
More than I've had in 5 years here. But I really do love it here. So if I rent one of those art studios, because of course it figures that I would find a place like this, like all of my trash humans, like I've been calling it Lords of Scraptown.
Yeah.
Like it's great. This is awesome.
But also,
like, everybody's doing cool stuff.
I think that like once we finally realized, like, because I think for like in the beginning of this last year, we were still kind of holding on to trying to make what had worked or what we had been doing for so long, trying to like find. Wow, I'm having a stroke. Trying to make that work finally, and like it just was never going to work. And so when we finally threw our hands up and we're like, okay, fine, fuck it, like this is not meant for us. These are not who we need to be surrounding ourselves with, and we're doing. And now we're figuring it out.
And the harder,
and like, are we in like we're in like the messy baby stage? Yes, but I think it's only going to get better from here. And now
the shortcut is never really the way. I'm like, I should move that to get that, but I'm just gonna.
And now it's like you're in a place where you would have never left if like the apartment and the job wouldn't have fallen through.
Totally.
And so I'm really happy that you get to go and like do what truly makes you happy, which is like traveling around and being like the hottest little, shitbird and and doing this, and I can stay here and like
and just go to events and stuff.
I can fly out.
Born Free Texas is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, do all that and like become